Shalom, my good black Israelite brothers and sisters. How y'all doing today? And the world, I'm gonna include the world. How everybody doing, man? Yeah. I had to make this video, Charles, Kirk, Charlie Kirk. People, hey, y'all pay attention, right? Pay attention to this. People want us to have this empathy towards someone who was deliberately spreading rhetoric throughout the years. And the things that he said, the things that he believed in his psychopathic mind, he spewed it out, and he was telling people these things, and it all backfired. Right now, he was the person to promote gun control, right? He wanted everybody to keep the weapons, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the reason he wanted everybody to keep their weapons was because so-called black people are the monstrous people, they are the monsters. And he held this rally in Utah where they don't like black people.
Utah, we're going to be here for a couple hours. Get comfortable. Bring the best libs that Utah has to offer.
And I want y'all to pay attention to this one thing. He had a prove me wrong, and he was literally proven wrong by the actual gun control concept, right? Everything that he preached, he was proven wrong right then and there. He was literally taken out by his own kind. His own kind did it, y'all. His own kind. But throughout the years, he would say it's black people. Black people are the problem. Black people are the murderers, the people who, take people's lives. It's black people.
Individuals are actually more likely to be attacked, especially even per capita, by black individuals in this country.
People that look like me, people that look like you, if you're watching, And I want to give a good shout out to all the other white people who did not stand for it and who did try to take up for us and say, hey, that's wrong, and how we treat black people is wrong and things like that. He would get into the economical aspect. He would talk about a lot of things, and he would make his own statistics.
20%, 80% of blacks do not have a stable father. 75% of black youth are raised without a father in the home. 75% is.
He would never get somebody like me or Umar Johnson or RZA. He would never sit down and debate somebody outside of his own little world. Now, all those white people who was cheering for him all those times, now who do y'all have, right? Now who do y'all have? The fact that y'all trying to make him this political giant is crazy. Now, this man, right, was literally taken out by his own people. And the last thing he said, he tried to blame us. He said, gang violence, bow.
You know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
Right? And it was over. And everybody was running and everybody was scrambling and people was in awe. But the irony is it wasn't gang violence. The irony, the things that he preached, all those 4 million subscribers, all those views, him sitting down with Candace Owens and, all these sellouts and debating people and over talking them when he would lose. It happened. It happened. He said these things about us. He said that black men aren't there for their kids.
75% of black youth are raised without a father in the home. Is that a concern for you? Or is
So
it
the
cultural?
moral-
In the black
No.
community, it is acceptable for a man to stay an infant and impregnate a woman and abandon that woman. That's a cultural problem in the black community. There's entire rap genres built around that.
75%. He said this, right? He let people think that. He manipulated people's mind to think that black men are not there for their children. He was dismissive of anything that we went through. Anytime people would bring up good points and good topics and destroy his straw man, because he would build straw mans and they would destroy him, he would deflect and he would use semantics, right? Like, I've been watching this dude for a couple years and I'm like, he would never stand in front of somebody like me. And he didn't. He never stood in front of a person who had the actual statistics, a person who knew what they was talking about. A lot of those people did, and he lost to a lot of those people. And a lot of those people, you know, made him feel less than, which they were supposed to, because he had a superiority complex. He thought that him and his race was over everybody. He was against DEI.
Basically, at Harvard, Asian and white students, they basically got 200 to 400 points knocked off of their score versus black and Hispanic students. So it was disenfranchising white and Asian students. So if you support DEI, let's say you're in charge. Do you think that we should have all test scores be weighed the same? Or do you think that certain ethnic groups should get certain points because of their race?
He didn't want to talk about DEI, right? I mean, he talked about it, but he didn't want to talk about DEI in the way where it was conducive to black people or minorities or whatever. Every time he was against it. He kept talking about you have to have skills, you have to be qualified. But who qualified you to be a speaker, right? Who gave you the power to get into so-called politics? Nobody, right? So you, like, the whole thing with this dude was he was just a young dude spewing a lot of rhetoric and a lot of things that was untrue, right? He went against everything that we stood for. He showed a great deal of apathy towards the black man, woman, and child. He blamed us for why we're in the condition we're in.
Not a bigger problem than whiteness, white privilege, or white supremacy. How
They
can
should
you
all
blame?
be addressed, and they're all related.
Okay, how is a white person to blame? Wouldn't it be more like smart to be like, hey, that this is not about systemic racism. Like, stop impregnating your women and abandoning them.
You know, he never once took up for us and said, hey, look, this is the issue, this is the problem. But when you would use reverse psychology, right, then he had an answer.
Are most colleges, public colleges, are predominantly white.
We're a majority white country. You realize that, right? So colleges are the depiction of the nation.
Okay.
And actually, blacks on campus are disproportionate more than their population in certain areas, in certain campuses, than their population. If I went to Mexico without being invited or allowed, and I took a job, what would the Mexican government do to me?
Why was the reason you left the U.S. first?
The reason doesn't matter.
He had an answer for why, white people do the things that they do to other people. He had an answer for that, right? He would just say, oh, it's the Democrats. He would never say the Republicans. He would never say, no, this is a white person's thing. He would just blame the left or whatever you want to call them, left wing, whatever. He would just blame them. And you have these people online that is upset, applaud. They are crying.
Such bullshit! I've never been so pissed in my whole life. And this murder Charlie Kirk right here in Utah. I'm so freaking pissed right now. This is bullshit. I just saw blood squirting out of his neck. I love that guy. He would have been our next president. I am so pissed right now. Why do they always come with fucking violence? Gosh damn it. Use your freaking words as they're talking to you people. Who shot Charlie Kirk? I'm driving down a Bravo right now. I'm so pissed.
I'm over here packing with my girls, and we just got the news. And Charlie Kirk was a man, a man's man. He was a man, and he loved his family. The video is awful. The video is awful.
They are mad. And it's like, you wasn't mad when that happened to Malcolm X. You wasn't mad when that happened to Nat Turner, Huey Newton, right? Fred Hampton. You wasn't mad then. Y'all wasn't mad then. Y'all wasn't shedding tears then. You know, I had posted something on TikTok, right? And it's a lot of positive feedback, and people, they get what we're saying, right? You said that you are more safe, right? You would never go to Chicago, impoverished black areas, because of the danger, right? You didn't get popped in Oakland, Frisco, Vallejo, right? Louisiana. You didn't get popped in the Bay Area or LA. You didn't get popped in New Jersey, right? You didn't get popped in Miami. You didn't get popped in Atlanta. Wherever there's all the black people, right? You didn't get popped there. You got popped in Utah, where they don't like black people. You can't make this up, right? You can't make this up. Where was your protection, right? If them people cared about you so much, why nobody protected you? Where was the weapons then? You said weapons are needed to protect people, right? For me. But I'm not the one who did it. Where was your people, right? This is crazy. And he had the nerve to try to say, we as black people were racist towards them.
Privileges to come into society. They come into every college on preferential with lower test scores. You can't ever say anything negative. You can lose your job. You will have your entire life obliterated if you say something racist. And yet we have to hear about how racist we are. How about you take responsibility for your own actions instead of blaming the white man?
Because the DEI is racist towards white people, because the DEI allows you to get a job just because you're black. Allows you to get a certain position just because you're black, right? But that's not what DEI is. DEI is put in place to do the total opposite, because white people have all the progressing jobs and black people don't. So it's put in there because what he and the rest of the people don't want to tell you is there have been racist algorithms, right? According to the housing authority, right? According to the medical field, where it was a literal algorithm, and they got rid of that. And people still to this day try to use the algorithm. So there has been racism put in place since day one. It's called nepotism for a reason, right? He would bring up all these dates and, 16, 19, this and that, the 1800s and all this, but he would never give you actual proof and actual statistics that literally happened. He said that we were the ones committing the murders. No, we're not. It's actually white people. It's actually white people that commit the most murders. And then he wanted to use percentage by population. That concept and that tactic. No. When you do something to somebody, it doesn't matter the percent. black on black crime. That's what he was talking about. 13%. They're less of the population, but they kill more. And he tried to use percentage by population. We do things in a whole, right? It doesn't matter that it's so-called more white people, right? When you do something to somebody, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're wrong. If more white people do wrong, right, just because it's more white people, that means more white people do it. It doesn't matter. Percentage by population doesn't matter. And then he tried to use the black on black, right, crime against us, but never talk about the white on white crime. And the crazy part is he said, he had one thing where he said 10 black guys jumped one white dude. Is that racist? He tried to compare that to 400 years of oppression and slavery. No, if he's speaking hypothetical, he was speaking hypothetical. We're speaking literal. There's literally a sundown town in all these places in this country. Literally, if you go there, they will attack you because you're black. Literally. He's talking hypothetically. I'm going to let y'all in on some information. Racism is what America does to us. Being a racist, right? And when I mean us, I mean black people. Being a racist, that means that you care about your race. That's what a racist is. It's racist. You care about your race of people. Prejudice is where you dislike a certain race because you're not of that race. That is what he should have said, or whatever ideology he had, he was just speaking backwards all the time. He kept saying racist is when you don't like somebody. No. That's racism. And we can't promote racist and racism here in America because we are not in charge. We are not the ones who took over a whole country and took people land and stole another people and brought them here to enslave them, right, for our progression. We could never be racist. We could never be racist. We can be prejudiced, and we're not even prejudiced. Just because we call y'all out on the prejudice things that y'all do doesn't make us prejudiced. And the fact that he was taken out by his own is crazy, and nobody want to talk about it, right? Nobody want to talk about it. It is ridiculous. Y'all got to talk about it. What happened? What happened to you? What happened to all y'all people that said it was, y'all laughed at us. Now y'all mad and now y'all mad and trying to say we're celebrating. We're not celebrating. We're doing the same thing he was doing when he was here. Look, whether it's a hoax or not, right? The fact that it's a contradiction both ways. Whether he really didn't pass or whether he did. Either way, it was his people that did it. Contradiction. He sold y'all something, right, that was never there. Y'all should go get y'all money back. And what I mean by that is your understanding and your knowledge. Because he sold y'all a false narrative. Why he didn't die by somebody that looked like me? Why did he die by somebody that looked like him? And the dude was literally probably just fed up of the lies. He sat there for years and just lied. Where's all the sympathy for the children that was, taken advantage of when it comes to weapons and things like that? When he, did that to the church or whatever when they was in there praying. And y'all worried about somebody that served no relevance just because he was connected to Trump? Oh, and Trump. Trump. Now you talking? Trump didn't talk when we get gunned down, he don't talk. What makes him important? Whenever we get gunned down, he don't talk. He said he was sending the National Guard to Chicago. You gonna send them to Utah? Right? Why isn't it white on white crime? Why isn't it white men? Oh, white man did it. Every time something happens with us, black men, black woman, black child, black this, black that. What about the white men? What about their attempts to, quote unquote, assassinate people? Right? The usuals. We are the usuals. The usual suspects. That's what y'all white people say, the ones that do. Right? The prejudiced white people that do. Now look what happened. See, there's power in that tongue. Right? There's power in that tongue. And that's what happened to him. Right? He literally is his own demise. He caused his own demise. When I go, I don't expect nobody to feel sorry for me. Y'all not gonna care. You got people talking about, oh, it's gonna come back around on you and all that. Can't nothing come back around on me because I don't care. I don't lie. I don't. If when I'm out of here, it's because I told the truth. I told the truth. I don't lie. He lied. You know, and it was white people literally telling him that he was lying and challenging him. Only thing he did was overtalk with a crowd full of people that was there for him. I told y'all from the beginning. Hate to say I told y'all, but I literally have said this in all my videos. I challenge all of you conservatives, right? All of you people who go against black people, go against whatever. It doesn't matter. Lying. All the liars. Candace Owens, Tatum, right? Ben Superior. It was him until his kind took him out. I told y'all, like, I've been wanting to meet a mutual ground. All of them. And let's sit and let's really get to the bottom line. The truth. They don't want to. So they want to go to these little colleges, Candace Owens and all them. They want to go to these little colleges. They want to sit there and try to talk pretty and talk over people, right? And try to manipulate the conversation, right? They have no understanding of anything, right? When people go up there with credentials, they try to shun that. Then when people don't go up there with credentials, they do the same thing and try to talk bad about those people. It's a lose-lose situation. You know? He said that we're the problem. He didn't care about the crack epidemic. He didn't care about that. He never cared about us being jailed innocently. He didn't care about that. He didn't care about, you know, what caused the crime in the black neighborhood. He never cared about that. He never shed a tear for us. I believe the Rittenhouse, which they call him Rittenhouse, I call him Rittenhouse, I believe he was all for that. I believe he took up for him, right? Because that's what I seen. You know, he went against Black Lives Matter. He went against any black organization, anything that black people tried to progress. He went against that. Now we supposed to be sad. I'm seeing all these black coons, right, being sad. Y'all have to wake up and disenchant yourself. Well, I'm going to disenchant you because y'all clearly can't do it yourself. Because y'all just won't even acknowledge the fact that these people do not care about us. Prejudiced white people. They don't care. You know, he literally was against black people. Literally. And then he talked bad about gays and transgenders and all that. Like, and you can have your take on it. But even me, I may not agree with it. I'm going to just tell y'all I just don't agree. But the things he would say, he was like, too many. When they said the transgender thing, he was like, somebody asked him about the shootings and stuff like that. He's like, too many, right? Gang violence, right? Blaming us. He put blaming black people again and transgender people. He never said white man, but he died by the white man. He died by the white man. Last words. The last words. Gang violence. Bang. That was crazy. and it wasn't gang violence. He died lying. He died lying, y'all. Like, come on, man. No. We not showing no sympathy. I'm seeing a lot of people like, no. Because it ain't no, he showed no sympathy. He showed no sympathy. People, y'all can say whatever y'all want to. This is disgusting. Go tell him. Well, you can't tell him now. Go write it in his comment thing. Go tell the world that he was disgusting for the things that he said. The Black Lives Matter. Police brutality. Right? He didn't care about us. All his rallies, y'all clapped. Y'all clapped. When a young man said to 70, they gave him some statistic, and he said 70% of black people, y'all laughed at, y'all mocked us. Y'all laughed at us. Y'all clapped at us.
70% of offenders were African American. Wait, pull it back up.
Y'all did that to us. Y'all don't like that come around. Y'all don't like when it come around. What goes around comes around. Y'all didn't care about Malcolm X. Y'all didn't care about Huey Newton. Y'all didn't care about Fred Hampton. Y'all didn't care about us. Y'all don't care about us. Y'all don't care about us until we can make y'all rich. That's the only time y'all care about black people, is when we make y'all rich. It's when we perpetuate the slavery that y'all have going on here in America that never ended. We never was free. He ain't never talked about reparations for us. He ain't never talked about reparations for us. The only thing he kept talking about is imaginary statistics, situations, analogies and metaphors, similes. That's all he did. He never pulled out a piece of paper that I've seen and said, here go the statistics. This is what happened. It was all rhetoric, and y'all enjoyed it. Now y'all trying to blow him up like he was somebody important. He was nobody important. Because he was one of Trump friends or something, buddies, right? He didn't even finish college. I don't care about school and college and all that, but he didn't even finish college. And he tried to go up there talking about how uneducated we are. Credentials? You didn't even finish college. You talked about black women not having a father. Now look at your children. Look at your wife. Now they don't have a father. Watch what you do and say to people. We all have to go one day. But I'm not going out lying. You said you didn't see racism. What does a white man have over a black man? That's what you said. How is that even a question? That's how I know the dude was prejudiced. It's okay if he's racist. I'm racist. But prejudice. Plenty things. Why black people don't own Tesla? How did they get that? Why black people don't own cola? How did they get that? Coca-Cola. How did they get that? McDonald's, Burger King, right? Why black people don't own grocery stores, Walmarts, Targets? Why black people don't own any tech companies? Why black people don't own any hospitals? What do you mean what y'all got over us and what y'all can do? It was redlining when it came to us. Wasn't redlining when it came to y'all. Getting me, I don't want to get cotton mouth, no pun intended. Wasn't redlining when it came to y'all. And the fact that you tried to compare the DEI and say that that's a racist system is crazy. Clearly, none of them people that you was with was qualified. Clearly. Where was their qualifications? Because you would still be here if they was qualified. I don't see this happening to I don't know, Jay-Z. Right? I don't see this happening to 50 Cent. Mayweather, right? I don't see this happening to them. Why did it happen to you? It seems like you should have had some black people around. You didn't have no black people around. No, we're not showing no sympathy. Like, why? That's not even logical. And then y'all keep bringing God. Leave God out of it. Leave God out of it.
All of you, if you're watching right now, I need everybody to pray for Charlie. I see there's a couple Twitter spaces. I'm gonna go into one of them so you guys can hear real-time updates.
Because when y'all talk about God, it says in the Bible, do unto others that you want done to you. He didn't preach to save us. He didn't feel sorry for the kids and stuff like that with these shootings at the school. He actually said something of it's too much empathy, right? The things he said out of his mouth, it happened to him. You know, you could sacrifice a few lives to keep the Second Amendment.
That believe in the Second Amendment. We fully acknowledge that when you have liberty, that you're going to have sometimes undesirable outcomes. We as enthusiasts for the Second Amendment acknowledge that in a free society, people are going to do bad things and dumb things, but there is a price to liberty.
Well, you're one of them. You're that life. You're the life. Now y'all butthurt? Nah, we not butthurt, man. Nah, we not doing that. Just lie. He lied his way into this illusion of fame. He lied. Everything he said was equivocal to what happened to him. Right. It made no sense at all. It made no sense at all. Everything that he preached happened to him. He wanted to keep, you know, your guns and stuff. He wanted to keep them. He wanted to keep them because he said you can protect yourself and all that. So what happened? He was just talking about the random black guy with the lady on the bus, with the stabbing on the bus. Some random, it was a random act, random. Well, it was a random white dude. Why y'all not using that? Why y'all not using that? Y'all talking about, man, this was a professional hit. Y'all always deflecting. We told y'all that even white people told y'all, other white people have told y'all, white people have obtained this country doing exactly what they say they don't do. Rob, rape, murder. That is how white people have got this land. And they will not give it back to who it belongs to. They rather put systems in the way or put systems in place to perpetuate it. That's what we keep telling y'all. It's a perpetual thing. It's going to keep happening. It doesn't matter. It's going to keep happening, man. And it's too late now. This is for all the other ones out there. Sit down with people who are literally intelligent, qualified, and people who can really expose y'all, because y'all run from people who can expose y'all. All the the conservatives, the coons, all the people who want to go against black people, you know, just sit down. Because I'm at the point where it's not even about debating no more. I don't want to debate you. There's nothing to talk about because y'all just going to keep lying, right? It's actions. Now look. And I had to make this video. Because look what lied. You can't forget what you said. You said we. It was us that was the problem. And what that white man did, was it wrong? No, I don't feel it was wrong. He had his reasons. Just like he don't feel it was wrong that we, things that happened to us here in Babylon, you know? So he didn't feel it was wrong. But what goes around comes around. And it came around. And it bit him. It bit him. It got him. Period. And if people want to celebrate, they can celebrate. I don't call it celebrating. It's just, first of all, you're supposed to celebrate death anyway. If he's supposed to be a Christian, right? Supposed to celebrate death anyway. But I don't care. I'm just exposing them. You know, you got all that money and attention, and now your wife is a widow. The same thing you said about the black woman, dissing the black man. Now, unqualified black woman every time, unqualified black man. Now you.
Sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Now look at yourself. Now look, your wife have to be a victim, you know, of your ideology. You became a casualty. That's crazy. A casualty to your own ideology. Crazy work, man. But if y'all enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, get your boy in that algorithm. And yeah, man, y'all keep watching these videos and don't let these people lie to y'all. And for all the white people, so-called white people, man, that be taking up for us and telling the truth, man, y'all the true heroes. You know, y'all the true heroes. Because y'all willing to go against this racist or this prejudice, systemic, Nepo concept of a country. You know, and it can't get overlooked because y'all don't have to do it, but y'all are stepping up and y'all are doing it, and y'all got to just keep going, you know. But yeah, man, this is the Alpha Hebrew, man. I appreciate y'all, you know, stopping by and checking this video out, man. Y'all just check out the other videos because they're gonna be coming back to back, man. I love y'all, man. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.